Dad Cam. We're back. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio. 504-260-0995. Got one segment left for you here. We are breaking down how is your FICO score obtained. What do you have to do to get your FICO score? If you want a copy of the credit wheel, send name, phone number, and email to info@mortgagegumbo.com. Info@mortgagegumbo.com. Folks, also don't forget to go check out Snap, Send, and Save.com. Click on Services. That's your one-stop shop for all your mortgage needs. You want to sell your house. You want to know what the value of your home is. Do you want to also, maybe get your credit looked at by a professional at no cost or obligation to you? Do you have some kids? You need to keep them busy. It's cold outside today. Go print out some of those coloring book pages. All right, we're breaking down credit. We just discussed payment history. Now, we're going to get in. We've drawn that piece of pie, so now you're going to go from 20 after to basically 20 minutes till, from the 20 to the 40 on your clock. That is called amount owed. So if payment history is 35%, amount owed is 30%. Amount owes, let me put it more easily or where it makes more sense, it's credit utilization. How well do you manage your money, right? How smart are you with your money? For example, is your credit card limit $1,000 and you're always at 90% or over? Do you pay the minimum, but you're also paying an overage charge every single month? And maybe you're paying on time. That's going to have an effect. And we're going to cover this over the next couple weeks, but one of the things that I always shoot for in this area is to maximize your score. You want to be at 30% or less. So on that same credit card that has $1,000 credit limit on it, you want to be at $300 or less to maximize your credit score. Now, everybody can't operate like that right away. So if that's the case, let's work in 10% increments. Okay? Now, did you go out? Did you just, put $3,000 on a credit card because it's interest only? Well, that's going to have an effect on your score if somebody pulls it during that time, or if it doesn't get paid. Maybe it's the same as cash or something like that. That's going to have an effect. So amount owed is huge, and this is the area, and we'll cover it next week, where I do a lot of my work, where I get credit scores up big time. You're going to want to make sure you listen to next week's show, because I'm going to give you immediate tips so you can handle it without having to pay these goofy credit repair services. And with that said, listen, everybody should be doing credit monitoring, but not credit repair. Do not pay these people to do credit repair. Credit isn't something you can just sit back and hope it gets better, okay? That's why we're breaking down how your FICO score. I want to educate you. That's what today is about. Education, education, education. Now, length of credit history. This is your old versus new credit. How long have you had credit established? If you're a new college student and you're walking through the student union and everybody's throwing these credit cards at you because you get a T-shirt and a blanket, well, your credit score is probably not going to be as good as mom and dad who's got 15, 20 years of established credit, of showing how well they pay or don't pay, right? If they're not paying well, then it's a long time of length of credit along with bad payment history leads to poo-poo scores. So length of credit, old versus new. Again, next week we're going to show this is also where my team and I operate. Got somebody score up. Somebody called me this week and said, you are a miracle worker. They did what I told them to do, and we'll talk about this next week, and their score went up 77 points because I showed them a trick here in length of credit history. But I want to make sure I'm getting all the credit wheel and you're walking away knowing how your score is determined. We'll do tips and tricks next week. Now you're going to draw, that was from the 40 to the 50. So now from 50 to 55 on your clock. You're going to write down, so length of credit history, to recap, is 15%. So far you got payment history is 35, amount owed / credit utilization is 30, length of credit history is 15. Now, new credit, this is 10%, right? New credit. So this is your inquiries. But let me stop some of these schmuckatellis out there who tell you, if you're out looking for a mortgage, the credit bureaus know you're doing that. So those inquiries are not going to hurt you. Many times the score doesn't change at all because you're having your credit pulled by a mortgage lender within a 30 to 40-day period. I just want to be clear on that. Where the new credit comes back to bite you is at Christmas time, or you out shopping and you're going out and you're applying to get 10% off at every single store that you go to. Now that you just opened up a whole bunch of new debt and new credit. It's not even about the inquiries. People go, oh, well, I got 3 new inquiries, and you said it shouldn't affect your score. Okay, well, what were those inquiries? Well, I went and got 3 new credit cards. Well, that's why your score is being affected. So new credit is 10% of your score. Then I want you to take from the 55 to the top of the hour. So now we've completed the circle. And the last 10% to give you 100% is types of credit. Secured versus unsecured. Installment versus revolving. Secured meaning, hey, it's got a term. There's an end to it, right? Unsecured, usually if it's got a term, you're securing some kind of debt because, hey, you want to get your property back. Versus unsecured, which like an auto loan or your house, etc. Unsecured is your credit cards. So when you're looking at types of credit, what is your balance? What is your makeup, right? What does your credit balance look like? If you just have one auto that's 1 year old, well, that's not going to give you as strong of a score as if you have, say, an auto and 2 credit cards. Now, if you've got an auto that you paid off and maybe you just have a credit card that's a year old, well, that's going to be solid. You want to have a good mix. And here's what I'm going to tell you about credit cards. They get a bad rap because people don't know how to manage them. But revolving debt, when it comes to us improving your credit score, is your friend. I'm not telling you go out there because one of the things everybody says is, well, my score didn't go up. I was told to go out and get a secured credit card. Well, you already got 3 or 4 credit cards. So, of course, your score's not going to go up. Now you just added new debt, which affects your score, and you piled on to your type of debt, which is going to affect your score.
2 minutes.
That's why you've got to be working with someone that knows what they're doing. Someone that knows how to educate you on this. Not that schmuckatelli. Not that drunken uncle who doesn't own a home or who goes, man, I pay cash for everything. Let me tell you why. Now, folks, you have to have credit. Like I said earlier, it's right up there with air and water. So it's very, very important. So let's recap here. Your piece of the pie. And next week, we're going to get into the tips and tricks. Payment history, 35%. Amount owed, credit utilization, 30%. Length of credit history, 15%. New credit, 10%. And then types of credit, 10%.
1 minute.
Folks, if you want a copy of this credit wheel, just shoot name, phone number, and email to info@mortgagegumbo.com. I've already gotten about 15 requests. So we'll get those to you either over the weekend or first thing in the morning. Call me during the week if you want to chat. 504-207-7600.